In the West, we bury death in silence. But in ancient Persia, death was a battlefield. It wasn't a state of rest. It was an active force that demanded to move, heavy and still. We bury our dead in locked boxes beneath stone, hoping time will stop. We have turned memory into a map of cold stone. But for thousands of years, in ancient Persia, death was never meant to rest. It was meant to move. 3,000 years ago, the Zoroastrians developed a ritualized process. It wasn't just a burial, it was a cosmology, a refusal to stain the sacred elements of earth, fire and water. They viewed a corpse not as a monument to be preserved, but as matter that had finished its service. Inside the Dakhma, the Tower of Silence, the design is a masterpiece of passive engineering, not a monument, but a process, a radical act of ecological humility. The structure is divided into 3 concentric rings, one for men, one for women, and one for children. But the true work happens in the center, the sagar. Here, the sun-bleached remains are eventually placed in a central well, layered with charcoal and sand. It is a natural filtration system. As the rain falls, it washes over the remains, filtered by the earth, before returning to the groundwater. Even in death, the body is treated with a chemist's precision to ensure that what returns to the soil is as pure as the day it was born. Not a monument, but a process, a radical act of ecological humility. Every belief system has a vector, a final direction for the physical self, downward. The Abrahamic traditions return to the heavy silence of the deep soil, an archiving of memory. It is a movement of stillness, of waiting, upward. The Hindu pyre accelerates matter into smoke, seeking the vastness of the atmosphere. It is a violent, beautiful transformation, a forced release of the spirit through fire. Along the banks of the river Ganges, death is present, ritualistic, and filled with fire. Outward. The Viking ship navigates the horizon. For the people of the islands and the coasts, death was a final expedition. To be committed to the deep is to join the currents that connect all continents. For the Vikings, the Oseberg ship was more than a vessel. It was a path to the horizon, carrying the soul into the unknown. But the Zoroastrian vector, it is circular. It does not move away, it integrates. It rises as wings, falls as rain, and flows back into the veins of the earth. It is an expansion from a single point of matter into the very air and water that sustains the living. In the Towers of Silence, the transition is literal. Through the birds, the physical shell is transformed into wings. It is stripped of its weight and lifted into the light. In the West, we often find this imagery harsh, but to the Zoroastrian, it is the ultimate liberation. You don't die into the dark, you fly up into the wind. In this tradition, you gain new eyes to see the world from above. You become the wings, the watchful eye, and the breeze itself. You are no longer a name on a stone. You are a presence in the sky. Our modern obsession with monuments is, perhaps, an obsession with control. We build walls of marble to keep the memory from fading. But the ancients knew that memory doesn't live in stone. It lives in the cycle. By letting go of the physical form, they allowed the essence of their loved ones to be everywhere. This changes the nature of your day. If your ancestors aren't locked under a stone at a specific address, but have become part of the wind and the rain, then they are never truly gone. They are in the air you breathe on your way to work. They are in the molecular strength you find when you drink a glass of water after a long day. Your ancestors don't protect you from a grave. They surround you as an element. Every drop of water is a lineage. Every breath is a conversation with the past. When death is understood as motion, grief changes shape. It becomes less about loss and more about transformation. Less about where someone is buried and more about where they continue to move. Perhaps we were never meant to be archived in the earth. Perhaps the ancients knew what we have forgotten, that our final footprint should be no footprint at all. Next time the wind brushes your cheek, remember the motion. Remember the wings, and know that we are all, in the end, meant to fly. 3 paths, 3 horizons. Perhaps death isn't a destination we reach, but a direction we choose to face. How do you wish to meet your horizon?